Okay, so what if one of your company's biggest untapped assets isn't even in your company, but right next door? Today, we are going to unpack a playbook that's all about turning a simple vendor relationship into your single greatest competitive advantage. Seriously, let's dive in. So I want you to think about your own business for a second. The companies you work with. I mean, are they just vendors, people you call when you need something? Or are they true strategic partners, the kind that are deeply woven into how you do things? Because believe me, the difference between the two is massive. And that's exactly the key we're going to unlock today.
All right, but before we can really appreciate just how powerful this new approach is, we've got to look at the problem. We need to understand the before picture. And in the property restoration world, it's something called the disconnected handoff, which is, well, it's an old, inefficient, and frankly, just a broken way of doing business.
I mean, just look at how this old process works. It's so separate. Step 1, a pipe bursts, you get that emergency call. Step 2, the mitigation team comes in and dries everything out. Okay, fine. But then only after all that is done, we're talking weeks later sometimes, the poor client has to start this frustrating hunt for a flooring installer. It's just this clunky one thing after another process that is just begging for delays.
And guess who ends up paying the price for all this inefficiency? Yep, the client. They are literally stuck in the middle, basically acting as a project manager trying to get two completely different companies who don't even talk to each other to work together. They're dealing with delays, they don't know what's going on, and all this stress is piled on top of the disaster that started the whole thing. It's a terrible experience.
But what if there was a way to change all of that? With just one simple, but pretty radical shift in your mindset. This right here, this is the turning point. It's an approach that completely redesigns the entire workflow, starting from the moment you get that call, from day one.
And here it is, the core idea. It's all about the integrated expert. So the whole strategy is to take your commercial flooring installer, we'll just call them a CFI for short, and elevate them. They're no longer just a vendor you hire way at the end of the project. Nope. They become a crucial diagnostic partner who is right there with you from day one.
This slide really lays it all out. The old way, the flooring company is an afterthought, a phase 3 vendor you call when you're ready. But the new way, you bring them to the initial inspection on day one. It's such a fundamental change, not just in timing, but in the entire strategy. It completely shifts the power dynamic of the whole project.
Okay, so what does this Floor Up Alliance actually look like in the real world? How does it work in practice? Well, it creates this incredible value in two key scenarios. And this is the best part, they feed off each other in this powerful positive loop.
Okay, scenario number 1. Your CFI partner basically becomes your scout. So picture this. They get hired for a totally standard office remodel. They start pulling up the old carpet, and bam, they find a hidden mold problem, or maybe a slow slab leak nobody knew about. Because you're their one and only restoration partner, who do you think they call? You. That high-profit mitigation job is handed right to you. No bid, no competition.
And then, of course, there's the flip side of that coin. This time, you get the emergency call. But instead of showing up alone, you bring your CFI partner with you, right to that first inspection. Instantly, they become your on-site expert witness. They can use all their specific technical flooring knowledge to build immediate, and I mean immediate, trust with that stressed-out property manager. And this is where the magic really happens. When that flooring expert can look the property manager right in the eye and say something like, "I've analyzed this luxury vinyl tile. The planks are cupping. This is a replacement, not a salvage." Whoa. That changes the entire conversation. It's not just some restoration tech making a judgment call anymore. It's a certified specialist delivering a definitive diagnosis. All that doubt and back and forth, gone. It just streamlines everything.
So, this brings us to the big payoff, because this strategy, it's not a one-way street where one person benefits. Not at all. It is a genuine win-win-win. It creates some pretty incredible value for every single person involved in the project.
Let's just break this down. For you, the restoration company, you get a pipeline of exclusive, high-value leads. For your CFI partner, they get guaranteed install jobs on a subfloor that they know is perfectly prepped for them. And for the client, well, they get an expert diagnosis right from the start, that immediate sense of trust, and a totally seamless process. See? It's this amazing symbiotic relationship where everyone comes out ahead. Okay, so I'm hoping by now you're thinking, this sounds amazing. But the big question is, how do you actually build this playbook for your own business, right? Let's get practical. We're going to walk through the exact actionable steps to make this a reality.
First things first, and this is crucial, you have to target the right kind of partner. You're not just walking into any old residential, retail flooring shop. No, you need a true commercial specialist. We're talking about a company that does big tenant improvement projects, or one that has really deep technical installation expertise. Those are the folks who have the right client relationships and the specialized know-how you need.
All right, next up, you need a pitch. And honestly, it's a lot simpler than you might think. Here are the key ingredients. First, you lead by acknowledging their expertise. You respect what they do. Then, you offer them the prize. Exclusive, non-bid jobs. That'll get their attention. Then, you introduce that game-changing day-one inspection idea. And finally, you frame the whole thing as creating one seamless, powerful demo-to-install team.
But look, out of everything you say in that pitch, this is the single most important line. It's the hook. I want to bring you in on day one of a water loss. Why is that so powerful? Because it's intriguing, right? It shows you respect their expertise, and it instantly separates you from every other restoration company out there who's just asking for a referral. This isn't about referrals. It's about proposing a real integrated partnership.
And really, that's the big takeaway here. This playbook, it's so much more than just a clever tactic for the restoration industry. It's a whole mindset that you can apply to pretty much any business. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to chew on. Who in your network right now is just a vendor, but has the potential to become your most valuable strategic partner?